So let's see if this works. This could go very wrong. Alright, it is Saturday morning. I am driving down south for my real estate broker's license exam. And I have not studied for this thing enough. In this state, you have to study for 90 hours, and you can kind of fudge the numbers a little bit because you get to record your hours manually online. So I've probably studied for this about 5 to 6 hours in all, and I'm really just leaning on the fact that I actually know real estate pretty good. I've done a lot of real estate transactions, and I know a lot of the basics. I'm gonna miserably fail on these random little terminology. I'm gonna just miserably fail on that part. So, gotta hope that I can get at least 70% and pass this exam. I had to pay $210 for this exam today, and I had to pay $300 for the state licensing education course. So, let's see if this works. This could go very wrong. Alright, we are looking for suite 208. 208. Ah, look at that. PSI examination services. When we built the headquarters, as we're building the headquarters, this is what we're trying to avoid. Certain size buildings, anything above 1 story requires an elevator. Okay, PSI. Maybe part of the exam is just, if you can find the place to take your exam, you pass. It's like a maze. At the end of it, it's just like, you've been successful finding the examination area. Here's your final.
Is this your first time?
It is, yeah.
Oh, congratulations. You're going to be a broker when you leave today.
Well, that's the goal.
Yeah, you got that right.
All right, so the test is complete. I passed the national broker exam, and I failed by 2 questions on the state exam. So it's all one test. There's 135 questions, and they're all mixed up, but it stinks. I gotta come back to Everett just to finish the test again. But the national part, I got like 80% on, but you gotta get past 70%, and on the state part, I missed it by 1 or 2 questions. So coming back here probably later next week. Honestly, I wish they were open up on Sundays because I'd probably come back tomorrow. You have to wait 24 hours, but I'd probably just come back tomorrow and sit it and just kind of cram for one part. The part I know I didn't do well on is transfer of title. That's the one part I know there's at least 3 or 4 questions there I was just guessing on. So I can just study that part a little bit more and come back and do it. But I don't know if the exam center's open tomorrow or not. So I spent a couple hours looking for hot tubs for the Airbnb, and the places I went to locally, literally like the cheapest ones were $8,000. And so I ended up just going for a cheaper model just from Costco. They're $3,500. It's not their lowest base model, but it's gonna be sufficient. And if I have to buy a new one every 5 or 10 years because they're a little cheaper, I'd rather do that. So that's the plan for the Airbnb. The deck needs to be built with Trex, and we'll do it like a couple feet tall, so that way you can just easily step into the hot tub and not have to go up a bunch of steps. So I just finished a run. You can see it's almost fall. You got leaves on the ground now, but last week I was talking to a couple members from landscapebusinesscourse.com, and they had just finished watching all the videos over the course of like 3 or 4 weeks, and they had said, hey, like lots of great information, but we're still like at loss of what to do first. So this afternoon, I'm gonna spend the afternoon making a video, and it's gonna be the 60 days of starting a business, like from day 1, what exactly you need to do to get started every single day. So if you're in landscapebusinesscourse.com, or if you are in MBAforentrepreneurs.com, either of those courses, there's gonna be a long form video walking you through those first 60 days. And everyone always is shocked by my first 7 days because you don't even need to get a business license. You don't need to get insurance. That is not the first thing you should be doing. You should be getting customers. You do not have a business because you have a truck. You don't have a business because you have a weed whacker or a mower. You have a business because you have customers. So find them first. See, the reason why most people will buy the tools or the equipment required for their business and then think that somehow they're in business is because it's tangible. It's easy to be able to look at it and say, I'm in business, or a piece of paper that says they're now an LLC or a sole proprietor. When in reality, wealth creation and business creation is not in the form of buying assets. When you look at the balance sheet of a business, like on the public stock exchange, let's say they have $1 billion worth of assets. If they're only worth $1 billion, they're literally what's called worth book value, which is you sell the assets, you liquidate everything, and that's the value of the business. There is no real wealth created there. There is nothing that is created. When you think about creation, it means making something out of nothing. And when you go buy a truck for $10,000 and you take $10,000 of cash and you turn $10,000 of cash into a hunk of metal and rubber and wires, i.e. a truck, you just created $10,000 of cash and you turned it into $10,000 worth of an asset. That's not a business. That is simply moving the asset value from cash into something on your balance sheet in the form of a physical asset. Creation of a business or wealth is when you take something like $100 and you go get 5 customers. That's $20 for customer acquisition cost. And those 5 customers generate $5,000 in revenue. And that $5,000 in revenue creates $1,000 worth of profit. And so you just took $100 and turned it into $1,000. That is creation. You took $100 and you made it into $1,000. That is what a business is. That is where real value and enterprise value of a business comes in the form of taking customers, using inputs, i.e. customer acquisition costs, advertising and marketing, and then taking that customer and taking a profit percentage, a profit margin out of those transactions. That is where wealth and business value is created. Not in buying more trucks, not in buying more equipment, not in getting flashy, shiny offices or anything like that. It is simply in taking arbitrage of a customer and turning it into profit. That's why price to earnings in the stock market is what is everyone benchmarks and based upon. What is your profits and giving you a multiple on that number. Let's go. We got our new manager hired, and the current manager literally got engaged last night. It's the weekend, and typically I don't come into the gym to fix these sort of things, but this dispenser broke for the soap inside of the shower here, and you can see here this little tab broke, so fortunately I was able to get a putty knife and scrape all of this stuff off. I got a little bit more off, and then let's pop a new one on there. So usually I don't come in here for this sort of thing, but the new office manager just got started today, and so I figured I'd drop by and lend a hand. Good as new. Let's go ahead and get a refill for it now. It's Purell. What's this one? Gojo. There it is. Oh, this is the wrong refill for this dispenser. All right, wrong one. Let's try another one. Let's see. Here. Okay, so we do not have the correct refills for that size dispenser, but one thing we do like to use here is these bad boys. These little things, they go in behind the toilets and they just kind of passively absorb odor eliminator. So let's go ahead and put these bad boys in here. Lindsay is the new office manager, and she's gonna be here soon for her first day solo. She'll clean everything up. One thing I noticed when taking out the trash here is these are starting to peel off, these window clings. It's mostly because it's like in the heat of the sun here, and these get so incredibly hot. But just these 2 pieces, everything else seems pretty good, but yeah, these 2 are gonna need replacing. It's just gonna keep peeling off. It gets so hot in these back doors. Doing a little bit of cleaning here, because the gym is completely empty. It's Labor Day, so I guess everyone's just busy stacking up calories instead of burning them off. Couple tips, where the dirt really hides inside of a gym. First place is underneath ellipticals. Okay, so when you look under here, this is where dirt hides, right under there. Also, at the end of treadmills, underneath here, because all this constant spinning is people's feet and dirt. All of it just ends up right here, right along that strip. Behind treadmills, lots of dirt. And then you're looking for the constant path of where people walk. So they come in the door, they almost always come here, they go to the cubbies, and then they go here. This is the main traffic all along here. And over time, like 10 years, you'll see actually in the carpet, and they go to the bathrooms. So that is the main thoroughfare where traffic is at. So I'm vacuuming that right now. It's a long weekend, staff isn't in, but Lindsay will go jump on this tomorrow and keep cleaning. I haven't vacuumed here in a very, very long time, so it's been good. It's a great gym. It really is. When I first bought this place, had been an employee and I'd been a trainer here. We've completely changed this whole club, putting in all the mirrors along the side, really opened up this whole wall, putting in the decals, the purple wall, painting this back wall. We blew open this entire back room. This room used to be closed off. We blew it open, took all the walls out, and made this functional fitness area with the purple turf. And this is where a lot of the training happens. But yeah, we've done a bunch of work here, and it's a nice club. Ultimately now, it's like I enjoy seeing members of the community here. A lot of customers from even Augusta Lawn Care, the older members. I know a lot of them, and it's just fulfilling. I like to work out at the gym. I get to be able to control what equipment we're buying. We just bought this split rack, split squat machine. It's pretty cool. You put a belt on right here. You put a belt on, and then you do a squat, so that way all the weight is over your hips instead of over your shoulders. So it's pretty cool. Last year we bought this entire rack here while the gym had to be closed down for COVID. So yeah, got some cool stuff. We have to order more medicine balls. These ones are falling apart on us, but here's your gym update.